It's straight to the point. God is fair. The bigger the tithe, the income, the bigger the tithe. That's for the rich. The smaller the tithe for the poor, the smaller. The smaller the income to the poor, the smaller the tithe. It's still fair. So mga kapatid, we have to really think seriously about this. Because this is, shall we say, a day-by-day reality in our Christian life. This is not academic at all. This is a practical, downward experience in our lives. So we give the tithe because God wants to develop our godly character. That we should learn to trust more in Him. And number two, we must give our tithe because God, it is favor to rich and poor alike. Number three, we give our tithe because it is scriptural. A good number of believers, even some pastors, I'm surprised. Ang argument nila dito, but pastor, sabi niya, but pare, sabi niya, oh brother, brother minister. They're pastors. Some. I'm even surprised. We are no longer in the Old Testament. We are no longer under the law. Tithing is, sabi nila, legalistic. It's legalistic. Now we are under grace, New Testament. So we don't have to give our tithe. And I stand with that kind of argument because it betrays the ignorance of the biblical teaching. Let's go and talk about this. It's scriptural. Tithing is scriptural because it was practiced by Abraham before the law. Wala pa ang Ten Commandments. Long before Moses came into the sea. You know the age, the timeline there? 400 years before the law. Abraham already practiced tithing. How in the world can you say tithing is legalistic? It's under the law. Abraham, 400 years before the law, wala pang law, was already tithing. That refutes. The word there is, I believe, it burst the bubble of their argument. It's dead wrong. So you cannot say it is legalistic because Abraham had no law at the time. It was grace. If you read the book of Romans, Romans chapter 4, Abraham was what? Saved, declared righteous by faith. Grace already existed. Long before Moses. So it says here, it was practiced by Abraham before the law. Where do we find that? Genesis 14, verse 20. Genesis chapter 14, verse 20. It says here, and praise be to God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand. This is the prayer of Melchizedek, the high priest. Because Abraham gave tithe to Melchizedek, the high priest, whom he recognized, who was the what? The high priest of Salem, which is the ancient name of Jerusalem. So Abraham, after fighting and delivering Lot, who was taken captive by the 5 kings of Macedonia, Mesopotamia, they fought against the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah. And you know the story here, if you read the background, chapter 14, that's very interesting. And we know that in their, what we call battles, the 5 kings defeated the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah. And then at that time, where was Lot, the nephew of Abraham? He was one of the councilmen, the other men. Big name siya, big position in Sodom. Remember that?
Yeah.
Sodom. So he was taken captive by the winners, the kings who fought against the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah. And when Abraham learned about it, Abraham was so wealthy, the Lord already blessed him so much at the time. And he had how many? Many servants? But he had a train, 318. That's the background of Genesis 14. He trained men who would be soldiers. So he took the 80 men and ambushed the winner kings. And then they rescued Lot. And then they got all the spoils because they defeated all their enemies. And then when Lot was delivered, here came out of the sea, onto the stage, Melchizedek. And Abraham recognized Melchizedek was the high priest of the Most High God. So Abraham took all of the spoils and 10% of all of the possessions that he had taken from the captives, from the vanquished people, 10%. Question, where did Abraham get the idea of 10%? Bakit hindi 20%, hindi 2%, hindi 5%? I've been searching all and doing the research about this. I found out the best answer to this question is, it was God who revealed it to Abraham. I am the owner of everything. In order for you to develop your godliness, your character as a person, you've got to recognize me, because tithing is an act of worship. It's an act of recognizing that I'm not the owner of these things, I'm only a steward.
Yes. Amen.
And that I will be accountable to you as to how I use all of this. It was a direct revelation from God. Tithing. So, this is Abraham. Now let's go down. Number 2, it was commanded by Moses under the law. Now this is legalistic during the time of Moses. We read that in Leviticus. Okay? Just a rundown of this. Leviticus chapter 27. Leviticus chapter 27, 30 to 33. Now this is under the law. During the time of Moses, of course, the people of Israel were what? Compulsory. Ito na ang compulsory. Compulsory. Just like we Canadians. What happened if you don't pay your tax? You see? We are compelled by the law. The same as Moses during his time to the people of Israel. So Leviticus chapter 27, 30 to 33. Leviticus 27, 30 to 33, it says here, and all the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land or of the fruit of the tree. Wow! Even the fruit of the tree. Think about the people of Israel. Ang bunga ng kanilang mga ubas, ang bunga ng papaya nila, the harvest, 10% is the Lord's. It is only unto the Lord. And if a man will at all redeem aught of his tithes, he shall add thereto the 5th part thereof. And concerning the tithe of the earth, even the flock, even the sheep, even of whatsoever passeth under the rod, the tenth shall be holy unto the Lord. He shall not search whether it be good or bad, neither shall he change it. And if it change it at all, then both it and the change thereof shall be holy. It shall not be redeemed. These are the commandments which the Lord commanded Moses for the children of Israel in Mount Sinai. So, from Abraham, tithing. During the time of Moses, under the law, tithing, but it was compulsory. Now let's go to the time of the prophets. in Malachi chapter 3, verse 10. It was upheld by the prophets. Tithing before the law, during the time of Abraham. Tithing under the law, the time of Moses. And then tithing was upheld by the prophets under the law. Malachi chapter 3, verse 10. Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it. Ang promise ng Lord to those who are what? Giving their tithes? I will what? Open the gates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that would be far beyond what you can take. There's a kasabihan sa Philippines. I learned my Tagalog in Laguna, San Pablo City. Doon ko natutunan yan. Ang tao ay nagbibigay sa pamamagitan ng kutsara. Pero ang Panginoon nagbibigay sa pamamagitan ng pala. We give, spoon. Pang Panginoon, ibalik ng Panginoon yung pala.
Yes. Amen.
So, what is the essence here? What is the truth here? The truth is, we can never outgive God. We can never outgive God. The more you give to your fellow men and to the work of God, the more God will bless you far beyond what we would expect. We call this superabundance. All my life, sa aking ministry, kasi kung sa Old Testament time pa, I'm a Levite, di ba? A Levite, a priest, and I'm a preacher. I live by the gospel. The Apostle Paul says, he who preaches the gospel shall live by the gospel. So I took a step of faith. Sabi ng mga friends ko noon sa high school, we were graduating, they were readying themselves to college. Sabi ko, saan ka pupunta? Anong college? Sabi ko, hindi po college. Bagong school ko, walang pera dyan. But I took a step of faith. So, Lord, he who preaches the gospel shall live by the gospel. Now, I'm now 54 years in the ministry. 54